Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Quinavali, and today I will be interviewing a middle grade student. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Jane. Yeah, I'm in 6th grade, and I'm at a private middle school, so I'm a middle school student.
That's great. Can you tell us what's different about being in middle school than in elementary school?
It's like a lot harder. Like there's a lot more homework and stuff, and we like move around to different teachers and different classes. Like we don't stay in the same class every day. I have like a lot more friends because I get to see more people because I'm like moving around all the time. It's like really fun.
So you meet more people, you're a little more social now?
Yeah, way more social.
What do you get to do in your spare time?
In my spare time, well, because there's a lot more to do, I do my homework, and then a lot of times I just like watch TV. Sometimes I read like either my homework stuff, or sometimes I read books that I just want to read for fun.
That's great. What kind of books do you like to read?
I like fun books, like ones that have humor in them.
Those are great. Those are a lot of fun to read.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, what is lunchtime like? What is the cafeteria like?
Well, we have to sit with our grade, but I get to sit with any of my friends that I want. So I sit with like both boys and girls because I'm friends with both, and it gets really loud and people throw food, and sometimes we get in trouble, but if we're really good, our principal lets us use our cell phones or electronics during lunch.
Oh, do you guys all have electronics that you like to use?
Oh yeah, I use my iPhone 5.
So you guys stay connected pretty often.
Oh yeah, we're like Facebook chatting it up.
Okay, so now I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about what types of books you read in your spare time.
In my spare time, I like to read books for fun. So I really like mystery books, and my mom used to read Nancy Drew all the time, so I read them. It's like really vintage.
Those are
cool.
Classic series.
We read this in school, but I really like it. It's my favorite book. It's Fault in Our Stars. It's like a really sad book, but it's pretty cool. I like the girl. She's hilarious.
So you liked the main character?
Yeah, she
You were able to
cracks me
connect
up.
with her?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
What kind of books does your teacher assign in class?
We read a lot of textbooks. Sometimes we read novels, and then we do like read-alouds or readers' theaters together in class and different projects. Yeah.
Sounds like a good teacher. Do you like the textbooks or the novels more?
Definitely the novels. Yeah, because stories are better.
The whole story, maybe you don't like the textbook when they're the short stories?
Yeah, yep. And textbooks, they have like a lot of definitions, and it's kind of boring.
Okay, that's good. What about, how does the teacher get you interested in the stuff you read?
She like tells me about different books that maybe her kids have read or that she thinks I would like, because I like really like dancing and singing, so sometimes she like tells me books about that to read, so I like those.
So your teacher gets to know you?
Mm-hmm, yep, and then she like tells me books that I'd be interested in.
That's great. Sounds like you have a really good teacher.
She's the best.
Okay, so since you go to a private school, what religion do you practice?
It's like a Christian private school, so I'm like a Christian.
Okay, so what does that involve you doing when you're at school?
Sometimes we pray, or like I have to go to religious classes, or they teach me about Jesus and stuff.
Okay. Does it involve anything outside of school in the community?
Well, we have to go to church every Sunday.
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't have to, but I like to go.
You like to go?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you like to go?
I don't know. It's just like a nice time to like reflect on myself, and if I'm being a good person, I get to like hang out with my friends too during Sunday school, so that's really fun.
So it's still kind of social.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like every Wednesday we go to youth group, and we like do youth stuff together, and we like hang out, and I have like my first retreat coming up, so I get to go without my parents. It's gonna be so fun.
Oh, so you kids get to kind of be independent for a little while and do some good?
Yeah, and I sing at church every Sunday too, so that's like really cool, and I get to like use my interests and my gifts and praise Jesus.
That's great. Okay, so I see you're wearing your uniform today, and I know you go to a private school.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me a little bit about the school's policy on uniforms?
Yeah, we have to wear this dress every day, but we can like wear whatever shoes we want. We have to like buy special sweaters that are like the uniform, and even my headbands have to like match my dress, and I can't paint my nails, so it's pretty strict.
Now, does that stuff matter to you? Do you like to do that stuff when you're not in school?
No, as soon as I get home, I take off my uniform, I put on whatever I want.
And what do you like to wear? If you could wear anything to school, what would you want to wear?
Definitely jeans and like a fancy top with like bows on it. Definitely.
Okay, so do you try and show your personality with your uniform?
Yeah, like today I wore this necklace and I probably shouldn't have, but like I really wanted to wear it because it's cute and I think I'm cute, so.
Do you guys ever have days where you can go without uniform?
Yeah, on special days we get casual days and then everyone like dresses up and wears what they want and you can wear makeup and it's like really special.
Oh, so you guys kind of get to show off what you got at home?
Yeah, like show off your style.
Okay. What about gym now? It's a little different than elementary school. What, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we had to start wearing different uniforms for gym this year. And our teacher says it's so that we stay clean because we're going to start like sweating and like the boys kind of stink.
Yeah, that kind of happens when you guys get to that age. Some changes are going on.
Yeah, I bought deodorant last week and it smells like strawberries.
That's great. Okay, so to wrap this up, is there any advice you could give for our teachers who are going to watch this video on how they could make learning a little easier for you?
I think what I would say, maybe like do more games and activities because then it's like fun and I want to do it. Like don't just use the textbook. Like my teacher does the novels and they're fun and like she picks out books that we're interested in.
Okay, so maybe tapping into some of your interests.
Yeah, definitely.
What would those be? What could that look like?
Like maybe if we're like learning about science, like finding a really cool book that like talks about it more and then we can like do a project with it and like actually do the experiments. That would be fun.
Do you like doing hands-on stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like getting my hands dirty.
That's good. What about group work? Do you like group work?
I love group work.
What does that look like? How do you like when that works?
Well, I like it especially when I get to pick my own group because then as soon as we're done doing our work, we can like talk with our friends about like whatever we want to, like Justin Bieber or something. Like it's really fun. But even if like the teacher picks the groups, like it's still cool to like have friends to talk to about it. So.
Do you sometimes need a break from all of the sitting there and learning and maybe talking with some friends?
Yeah, I get so bored when I'm sitting. I just like start tapping my fingers and the teacher's always like getting annoyed at us for like tapping our stuff, but like we just get so antsy.
Well, thank you for this interview. You did great. It was great meeting you.
Thanks!
And good luck with middle school.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Dr. Zogman and I am from Chicago University and I'm here with Dr. Quinavale today. Our university is researching the characteristics that middle schools go through and the changes that they go through. So Dr. Quinavale here had an interview with a middle schooler that went to a private school. So we're just going to kind of discuss and recap what she discovered in the interview and how it relates to the characteristics that we're researching. So, Dr. Quinavale, I know you asked some questions in regard to her social and emotional behavior, or what kind of things relate to the characteristics do you think that a middle schooler is going to?
Well, everything she talked about at first did relate to a lot of social activities. So everything seemed to revolve around her social life. In her spare time, there was
Now, did she have that many friends in elementary school, or?
She definitely talked about that she had more friends in middle school because classes are changing and they're a little bigger, so there's different interactions. Lunchtime.
Yeah, was that more of a social aspect for lunchtime or more of just eating lunch? Were they excited? Did she seem excited for lunchtime because she'd be like, oh, I could talk with my friends?
Yes, she was definitely excited about being able to talk to her friends during lunch. Technology got brought up and there's a lot of connection there, a lot of social time spent there.
Oh, and did she say how technology is impacting her middle school experience? Like, do you think there was any cyberbullying going on? Or
she did not mention that. I'm not really sure. I would imagine there are things going on. I know that they were treated with a reward of having an electronic lunch.
Oh.
So obviously most of the students...
Well, you didn't see that back then, would you?
Well, I think most of the students are connected through technology, so we can assume that there are things that go on, but that did not come up.
So I think a lot of her social status almost relates to the technology that she
Yes,
has. Did she
absolutely.
say she has like an iPhone or something? Or?
I believe she did have an iPhone. She did mention Facebook and texting.
Okay. So I think, especially when they have those technology lunches, that social aspect is just becoming so important, especially with technology. So that's very important to know for research.
Absolutely.
And what I need to know next is where she is at cognitively. Based on research, middle schoolers seem to almost be finding who they are and just starting to think a little bit more critically and just looking for more in the world. So that's where it starts in the middle school age. So did you see that in Jane at all?
She's definitely developing as a learner, and I think trying to find what suits her best as a learner through her reading, through everything.
What did she say about reading? Does she do it?
She did like
free
reading.
time?
She had some books that she was interested in because of the characters, so she's finding connections to other characters, which is good.
And now did she say like, oh, I'm making this connection to the book, or did she just say what she likes about the book?
She said what she liked about the book. She had a particular connection to a character because she enjoyed what they represented.
And I think some of that could be with the teacher too, because sometimes teachers are very about, oh, what connection did you make? And some teachers are like, what did you like about the book? Which is another way of incorporating connections, but the students are thinking of it as a connection.
Yes, and it sounded like her teacher was doing a fairly good job with the assignments going along with the reading, doing reader's theater, trying to tap into all the learners and all of the different levels of thinking.
Okay. And did she show anything about how she's starting to think a little bit more critically about certain issues or just school in general?
Well, she's definitely seems to want to explore more deeply into subjects, and she's looking for her teacher to provide those opportunities for her, which I think is very good.
Okay. And did she say any strategies that she likes to use? Because some teachers, again, are very prone to, this is a strategy you need to learn to help you, but other teachers are like, oh, you can do this to help, and it's not as vivid in different classrooms.
Yeah, it seemed like she liked, she said she liked the reader's theater, so I think she likes very kinesthetic.
Okay, so more
ways,
hands-on.
Hands-on ways of presenting information. She needs breaks in between.
So yeah, like I think you said this before, so she's just basically discovering how she likes to learn best and how she can find meaning through her learning.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. All right, and then spiritually, this is something that some middle schoolers go through and some don't. And because you mentioned that she goes to a private school, I think it's important that we touch on her spirituality and where she is at with that. Because, like I said, it doesn't affect all middle schoolers, definitely in different ways for middle schoolers, so we can't say not all middle schoolers go through this or don't go through this. So does she go to church? What religion does she practice?
She has a Christian-based faith.
Okay.
She does attend church. I know she sings in the church, so she is involved in that during the school week and also on the weekends.
Okay. What does she do on the weekends with the church?
She attends church, she sings. There's also a youth ministry group that she's being involved in, which also touched on, she related this socially also. So finding her spirituality is also connecting with her social life because she's making friends within that community.
Okay, so now we see the social and emotional and the spiritual kind of connecting there.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, because her friends are probably of the same religion, so that helps to, does she seem to want to go to church, or does she seem more like, oh, my parents are making me go?
I'm not sure that her reasons are wholeheartedly because her parents want her to go or because she wants to go. I think it's a mix between both. She did mention that she is able to reflect, so I think she does genuinely enjoy her time spent there and she does get something back from it, but she's still developing.
And it's obviously her choice to want to sing, to go to a youth group, to go all those different activities that involve the church.
Yes, and she's becoming independent through the youth group. She mentioned not being with her parents for a
so
trip.
become a little more detached from the parents.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense then. So it's almost like her spirituality is making her a little bit more independent because she's deciding what she believes in.
Yes, it's helping her develop on all levels.
Definitely. All right, so the last area of changes that I want to talk about with middle schoolers is the physical changes. Your eyes.
Fun part.
Yeah, right. And we know that physical changes probably, the most visible growth that students go through in their adolescent experience. And middle school is just kind of where it all comes out, all that change is, being shown, and they go through changes. So we'll just kind of maybe touch on clothes that she wears, because that's very physical. It's a private school, so do they require a uniform?
They do require uniform, and they do have strict rules on accessories and makeup and shoes.
Okay.
So it is pretty restrictive, but
So then is she allowed to show herself through those accessories, or does she through her uniform?
she attempts in smaller ways, acceptable ways. She had a necklace. So, and through the hairstyles, within reason, I believe she does try.
So she wasn't showing too much rebellious behavior by
nothing.
I can do this with my uniform. The necklace,
nothing that stands out.
Necklaces, do you think?
I think it depends on the nature of the necklace, how distracting it could be.
Right. Now, did she mention at all how she likes wearing uniforms, or would rather wear what she wants to wear?
She mentioned that she really enjoys the out of uniform days.
Okay.
I don't think she necessarily enjoys wearing the uniform, but she definitely appreciates the out of uniform days and mentioned the clothes that she would ideally like to wear.
Okay. And now, usually, in private schools and public schools, when they start having gym class, they change their uniforms. Has she mentioned anything about locker room activity with the girls, or just changing for that, or why they changed?
Something that came up was she has noticed odor
come
up.
It's a big one in middle school.
Yes, for the perspiration and the now need to wear deodorant more frequently.
Deodorant, okay. Does she wear Teen Spirit?
I think strawberry was her favorite.
Strawberry, deodorant is a big thing, and they like them smells.
They do. So they're starting to recognize that.
Okay.
We didn't go in depth,
right,
but that is being recognized.
I mean,
that there's
a lot
a
of
need for that.
Right. And a lot of physical changes are something that they go through personally, and kind of almost like with their family. It's not really mentioned in school, but it's there.
Yes.
So was she open to about some type of physical change, or she was just more like, clothes and deodorant and smelling?
It was pretty much just the clothes and the smells.
Okay.
We were strangers, so I didn't really expect much. That we also didn't.
That has a big impact as well.
Yes.
So the physical changes, like I said before, she seems to, obviously she's going through those physical changes, but she's trying to express herself physically, as well as she is mentally and, socially, emotionally, but, obviously it's what she wears, and I think that's, by wearing that necklace allows her to physically represent who she is and stand out among the other kids.
Absolutely.
So that's great. She sounds like a great person.
Oh, she's a great kid.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Quinavale, thank you so much for this interview. I was able to learn so much through the person that you interviewed and through your analysis of her about the different characteristics that middle schoolers are going through. And this will definitely help with my research, so thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I really appreciate it.